Spring break is underway from Athens, Ohio, but we're still here. There's baseball to be played at Bob Wren Stadium. It's game 2 of a 3-game series between the Bowling Green Falcons and the Ohio Bobcats. Welcome to the broadcast booth alongside Charlie James. My name is Noah Devine. Tough loss for the Bobcats today in the first game of this series, 6-4. Charlie, what did you see from both of these teams yesterday?
Yeah, not the result that the Bobcats wanted. They started out the game pretty well. First inning home run got them going pretty early. They need to ride that starting pitching momentum that Blake Gasky gave them early in that game. 7 good innings with 6 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, and they need to capitalize with runners on base. Yesterday they stranded 9 guys against a very good defensive Falcons team for Bowling Green. On the other side of things, Bowling Green needs to continue the momentum that they had up at the plate yesterday afternoon. 12 hits, scoring 6 runs, and they need to continue to disperse that production up and down the lineup. Not one section of the lineup was hitting necessarily better than the others, which gives you a very balanced attack, allowed them to come back late in that game yesterday.
All right, speaking of starting pitchers, on the mound first for the Ohio Bobcats will be Hudson Bonko, the right-handed senior from Corona, California. And heading to the plate right now for Bowling Green is Sam Seidel.
Yeah, Bonko in his last outing, March 2nd against Butler, ended up in a loss. Pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts.
This one is hits to first base. And Cassidy will step on the plate, and that'll be a quick out for Bowling Green in their first appearance at the plate. And now steps up to the plate, Gunnar Antillion, the infielder from Rancho Cucamonga, California. So a good start for the Bobcats so far. We'll see how Bonko is able to.
Getting that first batter out is going to be great for his confidence. As you saw yesterday, Blake Gasky got himself going earlier. As, of course, Bonko focusing a little bit more on his off-speed here early. And Gasky yesterday more of a fastball hitter, so you can see Coach Craig Moore is trying to change up a little bit of the perspective here for Bowling Green, going fastball heavy in game 1, and then Bonko who can rely a little bit more on his breaking stuff.
And this one is hit to the second baseman, and he'll deliver it to Cassidy, and that is another quick out for Ohio. Hudson Bonko starting off really well so far. We'll see if he's able to go 3 up, 3 down as Garrett Wright steps to the plate.
Matt Einich just showing his defensive ability. We know what he can do at the plate. He leads the MAC in batting average. Able to scoop up that easy ground ball and get the put out.
Got a ball there. So 1-0. And misses the strike zone again, 2-0 count. This one is hit, but Dolan cannot make the play, and it looks like it's going to be, he thought about going to second, but he will stay at first.
Yeah, Nick Dolan, that ball just a little bit of a screamer coming at him. Very reliable third baseman is the graduate student. That one just skipped off of his glove and then into left field where OU was just unable to kind of pick it up. That grass out there looking a little bit on the browner side. Gotta wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Brady Birchmeyer at the plate now for the Falcons. Coach Halleck said he's really come into his own these past couple of weeks. He is an RBI machine. They said they put people in front of him that can get on base so he can drive them in. He's got one at first right now, but he fouls that one off, so now it's 0-2.
Yeah, Birchmeyer, leader in the MAC in hits and RBIs. And like you mentioned, Bowling Green wants to be able to put guys around him that are able to get on base and kind of lift his offense ability up and make it a little bit more prominent. Doing a good job here in this first inning with Wright being able to get on.
Yeah. Say a tough situation for Birchmeyer. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Don't want to leave Wright on first base. They're going to check him there, but Cassidy is not quick enough.
0 stolen bases yesterday for Bowling Green. A little bit more conservative on the base pass. We saw yesterday Jackson Calthron with an excellent throw down to second to get The only attempted steal for the Falcons in that Friday afternoon game.
2-2. And misses the strike zone again. Full count here for Birchmeyer, who would love to get on base or try to drive in Garrett Wright.
And runner's
And
going to
here
go on
he
a 3-2
goes.
pitch.
And a walk there from Bonkel, so that will bring up Caden Parker.
As we mentioned last time out for Bonkel, 4 bases on balls. That's 1 so far in this game. Going to hope to be able to keep that number down a little bit. You saw him missing high, kind of relying on the fastball there late in the count against a very good hitter in Birchmeyer.
Parker shows bunt on that first pitch there.
We saw that a lot yesterday, Bowling Green showing bunt, pulling it back, playing small ball a little bit with their speed. Up and down the lineup, this is a very fast Bowling Green team.
Seems to be willing to play it safe with 2 outs here. And he is hit by that one. And so that'll load the bases for Gavin Ganun. So what was a fantastic start for the Ohio Bobcats, all of a sudden the bases are loaded.
Gavin Ganun coming in, batting .320 so far on the season. He's had 25 at-bats. That is towards the top in terms of at-bats for this Bowling Green team so far this season. Very trustworthy presence in the lineup for the Falcons.
This one is grounded to second. And they'll get him in time, so they will not capitalize. Ohio will now come up to the mound to hit this time. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, back from Athens, Ohio. Bowling Green now on the mound. It'll bring out Nick Good, the left-handed senior from Grosse Pointe, Michigan. And up to the plate first for Ohio will be Matt Einich. Matt Einich had a fantastic outing yesterday.
Yeah, Einig, like we said earlier, leading the MAC in batting average. He was able to have a really good game yesterday. 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a walk. Matt Einich just the picture of reliability for the Bobcats.
We'll see what he's able to do leading off. That's inside for strike 1.
Yeah, Nick Good, last time out against Southern Illinois, it was a win. Pitched 7 innings, giving up 4 hits, 0 earned runs, and 9 Ks. This guy can really pepper a strike zone if he wants to.
But he misses it there, so it's 1-1.
Yeah, Nick Good, the 5.87 ERA, 2-1 so far on the season.
Einich fouls that one off. So it'll be 1-2.
We saw a lot of two-strike counts yesterday for the Bobcats against Bowling Green. Just a different scenario here when you got a pitcher like Nick Good who can, really deal in that strike zone. You got to play a little bit more protective when you're down in the count. Just missed there.
Missed there, so it's 2-2. Einich wasn't leading off yesterday. That was J.R. Nelson. He was in the middle of the batting order. We'll see what he's able to do as a leadoff. But Coach Moore, after the game, said something about Matt Einich, Charlie, as there's a grounder, and that'll be a base hit for Matt Einich.
Einich just picking up right where he left off. He's got 16 hits so far this season. And like you mentioned, sitting at the top of the lineup for the first time this season, normally he's kind of around the 3-4 area where you want a consistent hitter like him. But Coach Moore throwing him up in the leadoff spot, and he mentioned how Matt Einich, along with Ben Slanker, have been two young guys that have really stepped up for the Bobcats. And while they have some growing left to do and some maturing, that they have been the picture of reliability, and they have been a very consistent piece here in the Bobcat lineup so far this season.
Speaking of 3-4, number 34, J.R. Nelson at the plate now. That one in the strike zone for 0-1.
Got him.
Got him. Einich not able to get to the plate in time, and he is out at first. They were able to pick him off.
That's an excellent move from Nick Good. Just kind of froze Einich. Yeah, I don't know if there was a steal called or what, but really froze him right there about 5 yards away from first base. Einich unable to slide back safely.
Einich was not a fan of that call, but does stand. So that's now one out for the Bobcats, and J.R. Nelson is now by himself out there. It's a little high for ball one.
J.R. Nelson batting a 180 coming into this game here today. Looking to bump those numbers up a little bit as he was, or has been, a pretty consistent piece here in the lineup for Coach Craig Moore over the last few years.
Yeah, J.R. Nelson, the sophomore from Vernon Hills, Illinois, batting average of 180, 3 RBIs in the season. That one is hit. Is it going to stay fair? It will not.
Yeah, he had 3 Falcons closing on that ball, just fell into no man's land. Lucky enough for J.R. Nelson because that ball, when you pop up like that, you kind of just hope you can find some grass out there in the middle of 3 Falcons. Like we mentioned, a very good team defensively. Saw some outstanding plays, not only in the outfield, but up the middle between the shortstop and second baseman.
2-2. That is hit into center field. And he is not able to make the play there. J.R. Nelson with a base hit to first. Chopin unable to come up with it. And that'll bring Trey Cassidy up to the plate.
That's back-to-back base hits here for the Bobcats. It's a great way to start this first inning.
Well, you wonder if J.R. Nelson will be a little conservative with his leadoff first after seeing what happened to Matt Einich earlier. Got caught stealing.
That lefty pickoff move can always be very dangerous. You got to kind of judge whether or not he's going to cross over that 45-degree angle mark. And Nick Good able to get his first out of the game on the base pass. Not a great start for Ohio, as we mentioned a couple times yesterday with some careless base running. As this one's right up the middle.
Opportunity for a double play. Can they get him? They cannot. They get Nelson at second, but Cassidy advances to first.
J.R. Nelson falls victim to the fielder's choice there. It's a good job up the middle by Bowling Green. Gunnar Antillion and Sam Seidel able to just work together, get that out at second. And with the speedy Trey Cassidy.
Yeah, 2 outs now. That'll bring up Ben Slanker. Ben Slanker, the sophomore from Canfield, Ohio. 15 RBIs on the season. We'll see if he can get another one here with Trey Cassidy on first. Bobcats have gotten people on first base, but it's getting past first base that has been an issue for them.
Slanker's been a very nice piece here for Ohio this season. Like we said, Coach Craig Moore appreciates his enthusiasm for the game, recognizes the fact that as a young guy there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. He's going to have to mature into his role a little bit. But that has not stopped him so far as Slanker, with 5 home runs, that is first in the MAC, and with a .703 slugging percentage, also leading the MAC.
Yeah, Ben Slanker. It's early in the season, but he has an OPS of 1.143. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and Slanker showing bunt there again. Ohio kind of mimicking Bowling Green as of yesterday. You know, a lot of showing bunts, pulling back, a lot of bunt and runs, hit and runs, excuse me. And Slanker looking at a 3-1 count here. Got to expect a green light here for Slanker with those 5 home runs. Real power hitter for Ohio.
Going to try to check Cassidy at first base, but he's able to make it back.
Heard a lot more backs coming out of the Ohio dugout that time. Don't want to get picked off again.
There was a point in the game yesterday where I believe it was Caden Parker that got checked several times, as that is a walk for Ben Slanker. So that'll bring up Trenton Neuer. Trenton Neuer is a graduate student from Nicholasville, Kentucky, averaging .313 in the season. 5 RBIs and a man on first and second.
And Neuer's been a really nice piece here for Ohio, hitting .313, as you said. 32 at-bats so far this season. That's towards the upper echelon for Ohio hitters. It's an excellent breaking ball there from Nick Good.
Right down the middle. So 0-1 there. Ohio again with 2 outs. They would love to get somebody home here. They don't want to strand 2 players on base.
And that's one thing we talked about there in the open. Ohio stranding 9 batters yesterday. Is another excellent breaking ball there from Nick Good.
Yeah,
focusing a little bit on that curveball low and away. Just kind of freezing Neuer on that one.
Not a good start for Trent Neuer. He's down 0-2 already. That may... Not going to say it looked like from here that it hit him, but it did not. So 1-2 count here for Nick Good.
Garrett Wright getting busy back there behind the plate. There's a great block by him to keep the runners put.
And he goes out swinging. And that'll bring an end to the first inning here. Still scoreless between Bowling Green and Ohio. We'll be back right after this. Start of the second inning here between Bowling Green and Ohio. Up to the plate will be Cooper McKenzie.
4 hits to his name, 6 RBIs. Again, hitting 182. And McKenzie coming in, trying to keep a little bit of that momentum going with Garrett Wright in the first inning, getting on base with a single, and a walk issued to Birchmeyer. Hit by pitch for Caden Parker. The Falcons come back up here in the second, looking to do some more damage.
Yeah, but that is a quick 2 strikes from Hudson Bonkel. Cooper McKenzie, the junior from Wheelersburg, Ohio, like you mentioned, averaging 182, 6 RBIs in the season. That is fouled off towards the Convocation Center. So, still 0-2.
It's a great string of pitches there from Bonkel. As towards the end of that first inning, he was kind of getting a little bit wild, but able to calm himself down here through 3 straight strikes. Follows that one up the ball, low and outside. Looking to change the eye level of the hitter there. Watch for him to come high, and just misses outside again.
So 2-2 count for Hudson Bonkel, who started off pretty hot, but he trailed off a little bit, but still scoreless. That's a grounder into the shortstop, and he's able to beat him there. Cassidy with the catch. Great play there by J.R. Nelson.
J.R. Nelson able to just scoop up that little dribbler coming through the infield. That was a great pitch there by Bonkel, and McKenzie was unable to get any real solid bat on it. Just kind of a looping ground ball. Great play to his backhand there by J.R. Nelson.
All right, so that'll bring out Alex Laird, the redshirt freshman from Canton, Ohio. Attended Glen Oak High School, 250 batting average, 2 RBIs this season. He fouls that one off, so quickly behind in the count again.
Back-to-back 0-2 counts here for Bonkel. It's going to allow him to get a little bit more creative. You see him missing low and outside there, focusing a little bit more on his fastball here. That one looked like a slider.
Yeah, Bonkel's been able to get ahead in the count really easily as there is a strike swinging. So it's gotten off to a really good start. It's just been those, once it hits 0-2, like you mentioned, getting creative.
Yeah, Bonkel's been really able to control at-bats here so far this inning. Back-to-back 0-2 counts, gets Laird swinging there. Laird had a great game yesterday, 4 for 2 with a double and 1 RBI. As Bonkel gets right back to his winning ways, 0-1.
That one misses the strike zone, so it's now 1-1 for Chase Chopin, the freshman from Plain City, Ohio. One of the younger guys on this Bowling Green roster.
You got to wonder if Chopin being told maybe to take a couple pitches here and let Bonkel's pitch count get up a little bit, because if he's just going to be humming strikes in there, it's going to be a long day for the Falcons.
That grounder goes foul, so it's 2-2. Hudson would love for this inning to go 3 up, 3 down.
And yeah, 3 up, 3 down inning would be pretty clutch here for Bonkel, because coming back here in the top of the third is going to be the top of the lineup for BG. Excuse me, Sam Seidel, Gunnar Antillion, and Garrett Wright, 3 of the best hitters for the Falcons. So nice easy inning here would be fantastic for the Bobcats.
He does miss low on that one. Full count, and he walks him.
Second walk of the game for Hudson Bonkel.
So that will bring up Sam Seidel again. 1 appearance already, and it was a out.
He just grounded out, weak dribbler down the first base line.
We'll see if he's able to do something different, especially with Chopin now on first. They're going to check him, but he is safe. That looked close.
Yeah, that was a great move there by Bonkel. You could see he was really hustling. And Chopin still down on the bag there, as the athletic trainer for Bowling Green is going to come out and take a look at Chopin.
Yeah, Chopin's still down at first base. We're going to go to break. We'll be back after this. Back after a quick break from Bob Wren Stadium as Chase Chopin walks off first base. Looked like he was favoring his shoulder there.
Yeah, not a great sight to see as Chopin has been in this lineup more times than not. 13 at-bats, hitting .231. Is more of a defensive playmaker than an offensive playmaker. Out there in center field is Bonkel's going to warm up a little bit, and Bowling Green's going to decide who to put on first. Should be the last out made.
Yeah, they'll have to bring in a pinch runner for Chopin.
It's Zach Horkey, number 34.
Yeah. Horkey, the junior from Blissfield, Michigan, is going to come and run for Chopin, who will get checked out in the dugout. And so we'll get back. Seidel still on the plate, and the count is still 0-0. And that is low for ball one.
Yeah, that was a little looping breaking ball, excuse me. Ooh. And Bonkel kind of getting back to a little bit more of his breaking stuff after missing a couple times with the fastball on that last at-bat. This one's fouled right back at us.
Yeah. As it hits the roof. And so 1-1 now. Excuse me.
Look to see Bonkel try to change up his speeds a little bit. You saw that looping breaking ball there for that first pitch, followed up with a fastball. Ended up getting fouled away.
Low there, so 2-1.
So far, 3 free bases given up by Bonkel. 2 walks, 1 hit by pitch. Those are stats you need to keep under control, especially in a competitive MAC environment like this.
2-2. Bonkel would love to get out of this inning quickly. Let's see if he can do it here. And he's only faced, this is his 4th batter this inning. That's fouled off to right.
It's a good job there by Seidel. Just keeping himself alive there, fighting off those inside pitches. Bonkel's doing a good job of working the zone. You saw those last 2 pitches on the outside of the plate. That one in on the hands of Seidel, able to foul it off. Got a 2-2 count here, 2 down in the inning.
Charlie, you mentioned at the opening of the broadcast that the starting pitcher for Ohio is going to be important. So far, so good for Hudson Bonkel. Got him swinging. As that will bring an end to the top of the second. Ohio will take the plate. Due up for the Bobcats is Nick Dolan right after this. Nick Dolan will come up to the plate. Good start for both these teams, scoreless through 1.5 innings. Charlie, what have you seen from Nick Good so far in this one?
Nick Good's been pretty fantastic here for the Falcons so far. He's been pumping the strike zone, forcing the Bobcats to swing the bat. As you see another strike there, beautiful on the high outside corner. Also, that pickoff move for Nick Good is going to be living in the minds of Bobcats as he continues in this game. Great start here for Nick Good. We're going to see if he can keep it up. Another strike there right down Broadway.
Yeah, quickly gets ahead of the count, so it's 0-2. I'm glad you didn't say that Nick Good has been good. It would have been a little redundant there.
One thing for Ohio we like to see cleaned up a little bit. We mentioned it at the open. 2 guys left on base so far. As in the last inning, Trey Cassidy reached on a fielder's choice, and Slanker drew a walk to no avail. We got a 1-2 count here to Dolan.
It's becoming a recurring theme in this one. We've seen the pitcher quickly work the count to 0-2. That one's fouled off to the left.
That's one thing you're going to have to keep an eye on as Nick Good works deeper into this game. 2-0 fastball on the inside corner. Dolan, good job able to fight that one off, but don't expect any chasing pitches from Nick Good here, especially when you're down 0-2. He's going to be coming after you. He's a really aggressive pitcher.
Here's the 1-2. And that one is high. 2-2 now.
Nick Dolan, guilty of that error in the first inning, allowing Bowling Green's Garrett Wright to reach. Is one of the 4 base runners here for Bowling Green so far this game.
That one's missed inside, so he works the count full.
Great eye there by Dolan. That one just off the inside corner. Backed him off the plate just a little bit. This is the first full count here of this afternoon.
Got him swinging. So Dolan is out, and in comes Jackson Cawthorn, the catcher from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He's averaging 243 on the season.
That's a second K there for Nick Good. Both swinging. As we mentioned, he is not going to beat around the bush when he's up 0-2. He's going to come right after you, and Nick Dolan found that out the hard way. Jackson Cawthorn coming up to the plate.
That one's fouled off behind us.
Cawthorn yesterday, one solo home run took place in the bottom of the second. Got the Bobcats on the board. At that point, it was 2-1 Bowling Green. OU was able to go from there and string a few runs together to no avail as the 6-4 loss was hung on the board for the Bobcats.
That one's way outside, so it'll be 1-1 here for Nick Good. Like you mentioned, Jackson Cawthorn had that 1 home run for Ohio.
That was his first of the season.
That was inside for strike 2.
It's a great pitch there. Just on the outside of the plate, kind of froze Cawthorn a little bit. Had a slight bit of movement back towards the batter just at the very end of that pitch.
Yeah, both pitchers have been getting creative when they've been ahead in the count, but there's one fouled behind again. Credit to the batters in this one, though, understanding that and being smart about what pitches they decide to swing at versus which ones they let them go. And the counts have been worked pretty high in all scenarios.
Looping breaking ball there. Started out right at the front shoulder there of Cawthorn. He was let it drop down there. Still found the inside corner, just outside the inside corner. 2-2. Notice how Nick Good here switching up his tempo a little bit. You saw a couple pitches ago, he kind of sat on the rubber there for a little bit, made Jackson Cawthorn think about it on that one. Opting for a little bit more of a quick pitch. It's a very nice tactic there from Nick Good.
That one's in the dirt, so it'll work the count full again. Ohio has to like how they've been working Nick Good here in the second inning, as that one is swung on to center field, and it drops for a base hit.
Cawthorn took a big turn around second. Saw the kind of lackadaisical way that Chase Chopin out there in center kind of came up to come play that ball. Ended up staying there at first. Good piece of hitting there from Jackson Cawthorn. Forces a full count and stripes one into center field.
They've been working Nick Good's pitch count up quite a bit here in the second inning as Caleb Carl comes up to the plate, who we did not see in yesterday's game. As we get towards the bottom of the lineup here. As he swings at that one. So aggressive early from Caleb Carl. Carl, the sophomore from Fitchburg, Wisconsin, averaging .217 in the season with 5 RBIs. He's got Jackson Cothran on first.
Cothran not usually known for his speed. Bobcats looking to be a little bit more conservative here on the base pass, especially with this great pickoff move of Nick Good. We saw it in the first inning. He was able to get Matt Einich. 2-1 count here for Carl.
Yeah, Cothran being a little cautious, knowing what happened to Einich in the first inning. Nick Good is really good with that pickoff move as he tries it there, but to no avail.
See it there again, kind of mixing up the tempo a little bit, keeping the Bobcats on their toes. He has the ability to quick pitch, and he has in the past. You see that little toe tap there. Waiting a little bit longer that time for this pitch. It's going to miss low.
It does, so it's a 3-1 count now. You wonder if Caleb Carl will be a little more aggressive with this one. He will swing, but it'll be fouled off into the net.
And that's what we're talking about. Can't have any part of that strike zone left unguarded when you got Nick Good down 3-1 in the count. He's going to be throwing strikes. He's going to be pumping some heat in there. His fastball has been under control so far through 2 innings.
Full count again. Nick Good has been working quite a bit here in the second inning as that is fouled off.
We got a defensive change here for Bowling Green out in center field. Caden Parker stepping in for the injured Chase Chopin.
That is also fouled off. But Parker, steps to center field, slides over from right field. They'll put Horkey over at right field to fill that gap as they continue to check out Chopin. We'll get an update as soon as we can as Nick Good will walk Caleb Carl.
Second walk surrender there by Nick Good. Both of which he fell down 3-1 in the count. Caleb Carl did a great job fighting there, fouling off a couple pitches. And eventually, Nick Good bested there by the 8-hole hitter for the Bobcats.
So runners on first and second will bring up Pauly Mancino to the plate. Pauly Mancino is a sophomore from Westlake, Ohio. Attended St. Ignatius High School. That's a school known for their baseball pedigree. They are a big-time sports school in not only just the Cleveland area, but also in all of Ohio. Here's the 0-1 from Nick Good. Mancino grounds that one, and it goes right between
Wave is on.
the shortstop. They're waving home Cothran, and he is in to score. The first run on the board for the Ohio Bobcats from Jackson Cothran. Coming from second, Pauly Mancino.
It's a great piece of hitting there for Pauly Mancino. Got a pitch outside, was just able to poke it in between the third baseman and shortstop. And as this field turns from turf into grass, you can kind of see the way it skipped off the turf and then died in the in short left field. And, Pauly Mancino taking advantage of that, being able to put home the first run of this game. Ohio up 1-0.
Looks like a little bit of a miscommunication between Laird and Antillion. Went right between them, but that is a base hit for the Bobcats, and Jackson Cothran is in to score. So Matt Einich is back up at the plate, and it looks like Coach Halleck is going to come to the mound.
Yeah, Einich looking to redeem himself a little bit from that last at-bat. He had a Great way to start the game. Just poked one out there into short center field and then fell victim to a pickoff move there from Nick Good just a couple pitches later. And finds himself up in the count here 0-1. Interesting thing here about Matt Einich, as we mentioned, first in the MAC in batting average. Yesterday, 2 RBIs. He went 2 for 2. And Einich has been in the lineup here for Ohio for the vast majority of these games. Had a good series there against Butler, although the outcome was not exactly what Ohio wanted, dropping 2 of 3 and only finding 1 win via walk-off in that series. As Nick Good retakes the rubber. Runners on first and second here for Ohio.
Just a quick
Matt
conversation, between Coach Halleck and Nick Good, trying to reinstill some confidence in his batter there, but
they're going to say he went around on that one. Showed bunt, tried to pull it back, as that has been a pretty good theme. This has been at least the second batter who showed bunt for Ohio so far in this game.
you mentioned Matt Einich is having a great season. He's doing this as a freshman. He's fresh out of Detroit Catholic Central High School, and just the way that he's shown up here for the Ohio Bobcats. Like you mentioned, Coach Moore mentioned that he's young, but he's going to get some playing time because he is fantastic. For Einich, it'll be a 2-1 count here. That's right down the middle for strike 2.
That's a great pitch there from Nick Good. Missed outside there to force that 2-1 count, and comes right back down the middle, changing the eye level there for Einich.
Einich would love to get on base here. And he swings. That is a grounder. Going to go to second. And he does manage to pick off Paulie Mancino.
And Mancino cut down there at second. Another good decision there for Bowling Green, as Sam Seidel was able to flip that one over, over Gunnar Antillion for the out. Got to take outs in this situation. Got 2 down now, runners on the corners, as opposed to trying to turn that into a double play, maybe make a mistake and give up another run. Take the out at second, move on.
And looked like he wanted to steal. This is going to be danger for the Ohio Bobcats, as Matt Einich went to second. But they were all over that, and Bowling Green will get out of this inning only giving up 1 run. Fantastic work there by the Falcons. As we come back, we'll see Bowling Green back up to bat in the 3rd inning.
To Bob Wrenn Stadium here in Athens, Ohio, as a very interesting ending to that 2nd inning, which saw the Bobcats get a run. Jackson Calthron came across the plate on a single there from Paulie Mancino to break this game open. But it was Matt Einich who took off with a very late jump with 2 outs in that last inning. Was able to get about halfway down to second before Caleb Carl broke for home, And the Falcons snuffed that one out. Were able to get him before he crossed the plate, and he was caught stealing. 1-0 Ohio as we enter the top of the third inning here. And Hudson Bonkel back on the mound.
Yeah, that was
his third inning of work.
That was a very interesting play there, as Matt Einich really late on the steal, and then you knew that they were in trouble as soon as he left the mound because catcher, Wright had it, and he's right there. As there's a grounder to third, are they able to make the throw?
What a play from Nick Dolan!
How about that, Nick Dolan able to get Gunnar Antillion.
Yeah, Nick Dolan, the grad student third baseman. As we mentioned earlier in this game, a very reliable third baseman, stretching to his left on the foul line, got it on the backhand and fired a rocket across the diamond, able to get Antillion.
Garrett Wright, the aforementioned player that caught Einich, and Caleb Carl, who was eventually caught there.
There's a great heads-up play there by Wright, able to fire it down to Sam Seidel, who was looking alive and saw that one come right back off the ankle of Bonkel.
Was he able to get it in time? He's not able to make the play. And Bonkel in a little bit of pain after that one. That came right for his ankle there. But Garrett Wright advances to first.
Yeah, going back to that last play. And Wright fired it down there to Seidel. Seidel kept his head on a swivel and was able to see Carl breaking for the plate. Got it back to Wright. Executed a catch and tag and ended the inning there for the Bobcats as Coach Moore is going to come out and check on his starting pitcher, Bonkel, who's been pretty consistent here throughout the first 3 innings.
Looks like he's going to be able to continue. That's the last thing that you want if you're Ohio, is for your starting pitcher to only be able to go 2 in a couple innings.
It's going to be scored there as a single as the Ohio Bobcat dugout getting fired up, noticing that their starting pitcher is going to go ahead and tough this one out. Only 1 hit surrendered here for Bonkel so far through 3 innings.
That is a fantastic start for him. You mentioned they want to get out to a good start with their starting pitcher, and Hudson Bonkel has done just that. As Brady Birchmeyer up to the plate now, he's going to check Garrett Wright.
Yeah, that one was just got away from Trey Cassidy over there at first base. He had a shot at it. That was a great move there by Bonkel. As Bowling Green looking to be a little bit more aggressive here on the base pass.
That one's down low for a ball. Yeah, Hudson Bonkel took that one right to the ankle there. He's going to continue it, but that certainly did not feel good.
Brady Birchmeyer, his second at-bat of the game, worked a full count his first time around and drew a walk. That was 1 of 2 walks surrendered so far by Bonkel, as he finds himself up 2-0 in this at-bat here. Second time facing Hudson.
There's a strike there.
It's a great inside breaking ball there from Hudson Bonkel. Got to keep a batter guessing there. Went fastball, and broke him down there with the curveball.
Pickoff attempt again, but Garrett Wright is in there in time. There's a play where I believe they tried to pick off Caden Parker maybe 7 or 8 times during the first game series. So they're definitely very wary of first baseman for Bowling Green. That one
just
missed the strike zone, yeah. 3-1 count for Hudson Bonkel, who has been able to keep his pitch count pretty low so far in this one. There's a hit into center field, but Mancino is able to make the play there. So that'll be the second out for Bowling Green.
Yeah, Mancino just drifting a little bit to his left, able to make that play. And that ball was scorched off the bat there of Birchmeyer. Like we said earlier, leads the MAC in hits and RBIs. So not exactly a guy you want to see square one up like that, but Paulie Mancino scoots over and makes the catch.
Checking right again as Caden Parker is up to the mound. Say, he is really keeping an eye on Garrett Wright there at first base. There's a bunt from Parker. Are they able to make the play?
Got him.
Yes, they are. What a throw there from Dolan. As that'll bring an end to the top of the third. Bowling Green unable to capitalize again. When we come back, we'll see the Ohio Bobcats at the plate once more. Back for the bottom of the third inning here from Bob Wrenn Stadium in Athens, Ohio. J.R. Nelson about to take the mound. Take the plate for the Ohio Bobcats.
Yeah, Nick Good back for another inning of work. He's been fantastic so far for Bowling Green, only allowing 4 hits so far. I know that sounds like a lot compared to the 1 hit Bowling Green's tallied, but only 1 run surrendered on those 4 hits. And
yeah, Nick Good's, he's been playing pretty well so far. The only thing I'd be worried about if I were Bowling Green is his pitch count's starting to get really high. He worked a lot of those counts full there in the second inning, so we'll see. As there's a hit from Nelson into center field.
Oh, what a catch.
And
now they're going to say he dropped it.
Parker not able to make the play there.
Parker came up with the ball. They're going to say he pinned it against the ground.
Yeah, I thought he had it there. Obviously, we're really far away from the play. I totally thought he had it there, but Parker is unable to make the play.
J.R. Nelson 2 for 2 in this game. And he fell victim to a out at second base. It was Trey Cassidy who grounded out into a fielder's choice. Ended up shutting down Nelson's first appearance in this one, but he's got a 2 for 2 day for himself so far.
Not exactly the start you want if you're Bowling Green, but here's Trey Cassidy on the plate now. He's 1 for 1 so far.
It's a good pitch there from Good. You can see these fastballs kind of tailing off a little bit back towards that left-handed batter's box. That one missing low and outside.
Yeah, that Nelson-Cassidy Slanker tandem that we're in the middle of right now all had reached base in the first inning. So we'll see if Ohio is able to capitalize on them there, as it's 1-1 for Nick Good here. Got him there, so 1-2.
It's a good pitch there. Making Trey Cassidy kind of bend a little bit, making him dig down deep into that strike zone. Elects to leave it low. It finds the bottom half.
This one misses the strike zone, so it's 2-2.
2-2 counts been very popular here for Nick Good. He started off the game with back-to-back 2-2 counts. Ended up having both those turn into base hits.
That's the theme of this game so far for both pitchers. There's a swing. They're not going to be able to make the double play. They will get J.R. Nelson out at second. but that is a base hit for Trey Cassidy.
Yeah, it's a second fielder's choice. Trey Cassidy's grounded into. And that'll once again end the base running appearance there for J.R. Nelson, who might have some words for him in the dugout. As Trey Cassidy finds himself back on first for the second time this game. Ben Slanker stepping into the box for his second appearance. Drew a walk his first time up.
There's a first ball. Yeah, you mentioned Ben Slanker reached base on balls in the first inning, so wasn't able to go anywhere past first base. But we'll see what they're able to do here is they're going to check Trey Cassidy.
Cassidy able to just kind of skip back to that base. Not a very extended lead there.
One-0. He's going. Will he get there?
Out by a mile.
They got him. Trey Cassidy caught stealing at second base. And now Ben Slanker finds himself in a tough predicament as he is at the plate with 2 outs now.
Trey Cassidy didn't get a great jump on that, but what a throw down there by Garrett Wright. Just right on the money. Able to apply the tag very easily was Antillion. Trey Cassidy, not the best jump as the second base runner that's been cut down by Garrett Wright so far in this game.
So we have a 3-1 count here for Ben Slanker. You mentioned earlier that Trey Cassidy and J.R. Nelson both out at second, so Slanker on his own here. So Nick Good works the count full. Good would love to get out of this inning right here with a strike. And
that one was fouled back off of Garrett Wright. That's the second time so far this game that he's had a ball fouled off of his chest. But sticking in there.
Yeah, wasn't sure at first, but could hear the ball make contact with the bat. So it is a foul. So it's still 3-2. And that is a walk for Ben Slanker. So he reaches base on balls yet again.
Yeah, that's a great eye there by Ben Slanker. That ball has been called favorably in at-bats before, but Slanker able to leave it low just on that outside corner.
Yeah, now up steps Trenton Neuer.
Looked like a slider there from Nick Good. Just ran away from him a little bit too much. That one's in there for a strike on that outside low corner.
Neuer struck out swinging in his first appearance in the first inning. That ended the first inning, so hoping not to repeat history here. As that one's low, so we have a 1-1 count. Also, Ben Slanker's got to be careful because Nick Good has been fantastic when it comes to catching runners on first, whether it be through pickoff attempts or catching him stealing second, as we saw with Trey Cassidy earlier. That one's fouled off, so it's 1-2.
Yeah, Trent Neuer hitting .313 on the season so far. So he's been able to make some pretty consistent contact for the Bobcats. We'll see what he can do here down 1-2.
That one's inside, so it's 2-2.
It was a good eye there. But Neuer able to get out of the way. It's one thing that Nick Good has been pretty consistent with so far. Inside to righties, outside to lefties. Not really working that pitcher. Oh, there it is right there. Outside to a righty.
And that'll bring an end to the third inning as Trenton Neuer strikes out looking. We'll be back in just a moment from Bob Wrenn Stadium. through 3 here in Bob Wrenn Stadium in Athens, Ohio, as we've reached the top of the 4th between Bowling Green and Ohio. The Bobcats maintain a 1-0 lead here in this one as Gavin Ganun comes up to bat for the Falcons. 0 for 1 so far today. Hudson Bonkel has had a fantastic start to this one as he gets him here for strike 1. This has been, we mentioned this a lot during the broadcast, but getting off to a strong start in the pitching game was something that was really important for the Ohio Bobcats. That one is fouled off, so that's strike 2. So far, Hudson Bonkel has done just that.
It's another 0-2 count. He was able to work, in that last half inning, he was able to work 2 0-2 counts and get positive results out of both of those at-bats. Bonkel being able to find the strike zone very efficiently there as that pitch just misses on the outside half.
1-2 count for Bonkel. That's been the theme of today, is working the count to 0-2 quickly as he gets him swinging there. So that's a strikeout for Hudson Bonkel, his 3rd of the day. That'll bring up Cooper McKenzie.
3rd swinging K of the day for Bonkel. And that one high up in the zone. Nice fastball there from Hudson. Able to get down swinging, and Cooper McKenzie will make his way into the batter's box. Nice looping breaking ball there.
Wow.
Started out
Strike
right
1.
at his front shoulder and just dove down into that inside half. 0-1.
Yeah, McKenzie 0 for 1 so far today. Ground out to the shortstop as he swings on that one. So again, quickly 0-2.
Cooper McKenzie grounded out in the first inning. Or excuse me, in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, bottom of the second there. As it's now 1-2. Bonkel, like you mentioned, getting a lot more creative with those pitches. Not exactly able to find the strike zone on those last 2. That one is swung on and hit.
What a catch.
Deep right field, and it is caught by Ben Slanker.
Slanker out there, reaching really far out there to his left, able to make the play and take away for sure extra bases from Cooper McKenzie. Excellent play there from Slanker.
Highlight play, yeah, from Ben Slanker. Alex Laird comes up. It's been 2 up, 2 down for the Bobcats defensively so far. We'll see if they're able to get Laird, who struck out swinging on his first appearance.
And that's a good look out there from Slanker, who hasn't been very active so far in this game. That's the first ball that's been hit his way, but he was ready for it, up on his toes, ran a good 30 yards to get there, and able to make the play there.
Like you mentioned, prevented what would have almost certainly been an extra base hit for Cooper McKenzie.
Nice breaking ball there from Bonkel, trying to get some chase action there out of Alex Laird, who struck out, as you mentioned, earlier in this game.
2-2 count now for Hudson Bonkel. And got him swinging again. So 3 up, 3 down for Hudson Bonkel and the Ohio Bobcats. Fantastic 4th inning for them. We'll be back as the Bobcats are up to bat after this. We have a new pitcher for the Bowling Green Falcons. Nick Good's day is done, so that brings Jacob Turner, the junior from St. Clair, Michigan. How would you describe Nick Good's day?
Yeah, Nick Good, pretty good day here so far. Forced a lot of fielder's choice, couple defensive helpers there, a couple batters caught stealing for Ohio. Ended up with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, 2 swinging, 1 looking, 1 earned run, and 5 hits allowed, and that will close the books on Nick Good's day.
That is a hit towards center field. Let's see if Parker's able to make that catch, and he was. Diving effort.
Unreal.
By Caden Parker. Wow. What a catch there. Spoiled Nick Dolan's hit.
Going back over his left shoulder and diving on the warning track. Unbelievable play out there from Caden Parker, who was thrust into that center field position after the injury to Chopin earlier in this game, taking away for sure extra bases from Nick Dolan. What a play.
Oh, that's a hit. That is going to be a base hit for Jackson Cawthron. And so he'll go safely to first base as it slides in between Seidel and Birchmeyer.
Yeah, Cawthron scoring the only run of this game. Ended up coming home on a base hit there from Paulie Mancino back in the bottom of the second. And as the only run scored in this game, finds himself back on first base. As Ohio working to get a little bit more out of their base runners, as we mentioned earlier, stranding 9 guys yesterday and 3 so far today.
Yeah, they've stranded a lot of runners at base.
4
They've
so far
also
today.
gotten caught stealing with the pickoff attempts and the catcher being able to get to them just in time. So they do have to be careful in that aspect. Caleb Carl up to the plate now as it's 1-1. As that is just outside for Jacob Turner. Jacob Turner so far this year has 12 strikeouts, an ERA of 7.50. So in relief of Nick Good, who they pulled rather quickly, but his pitch count was up there as he worked the count full quite a bit, especially there in that second inning.
Caleb Krull worked a walk his first time up, got all the way around to third, and was caught stealing coming home to end the inning back in the second.
That was that weird play that we were talking about at the start of the third.
A little bit of miscommunication there between Einich and
Carl.
Carl.
The Einich and Carl play. Full count here. Got him. Looking. So Caleb Carl strikes out there.
It's the first strikeout of the day here for Jacob Turner. It's a good way to get settled back in after Paulie Mancino put together a good piece of hitting to break this inning open. We sit here at the top of the fourth. Bobcats hold on to a 1-0 lead. And Paulie Mancino comes back into the game, trying to continue his pretty good start so far. He was caught up in a fielder's choice earlier this game and found himself out at second after a base hit.
Turner checked Jackson Cawthron there at first. He's going to do it again. As he has thrown out to first twice in a row now. As they get Paulie Mancino swinging there for strike 1.
Mancino only saw 1 pitch from the in his first at bat. Looking to see a little bit more here and kind of gather his plate presence. He's been swinging fairly recently in at bats in the first couple pitches.
Yeah, but now Mancino is behind in the count, 0-2. As he swings at that one, looked like it was going outside. He fouls it off, and so that'll keep the plate appearance alive.
It's a good swing there from Paulie Mancino. Being able to fight that one off, it was headed towards that upper outside corner.
That one's outside, so it's 1-2. He's really eyeing Jackson Cawthorn at first base. As Mancino fouls this one off into the back net again.
This is going to be a nice test here for Jacob Turner. It's only his third at-bat of this game, and Paulie Mancino is putting together a pretty good one. A couple fouls. A good eye there watching that ball a couple pitches ago.
That is hit for a base hit into right field. And so Paulie Mancino able to advance to first, and he gets Jackson Cawthorn to second.
That's a great piece of hitting there from Paulie Mancino. His second hit of the game, advancing Jackson Cawthorn, as you said. Able to foul off a couple pitches there late in that at-bat, and then just poke one out there into right field. And Paulie Mancino not only able to keep this inning going, but flips the lineup card back over to Matt Einrich, who had a single in his first at-bat, but was picked off at second there by Nick Good, and then hit into a fielder's choice his second time up.
That one for Jacob Turner was right down the middle for strike one. That is in the dirt for ball one.
It's a great job there by Garrett Wright, keeping the runners where they are, moving to his right, and putting those knees down, able to get a good block. There he is again.
Oh.
Some good work back here from Garrett Wright.
Jackson Cawthorn is a really big lead off of second base. So Jacob Turner might be looking at him. As that is hit into a ground ball out at second base, and that'll end the fourth inning here. Great play by Gunnar Antillian to get Paulie Mancino out at second base. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back for the fifth inning right after this. Welcome back to Bob Wren Stadium as we are here for the top of the fifth inning as Bowling Green is up to the plate. Chase Chopin. We were talking a little bit during the break, Charlie. We said that Gunnar Antillian and Sam Seidel have had a fantastic day in the outfield.
Yeah, at least 3 putouts between the two of them. Not able just quite to turn those into double plays, but a lot of those have ended innings and they have kept runners on the base pass, especially you saw it there in that last inning as Seidel fielded the ball, got it over to Antillian to end the inning. And just a great 1-2 duo up the middle of the field there for the Bowling Green Falcons.
And correction here, this is Zach Horkey up to bat, not Chase Chopin, as he is still in the dugout as there's a hit into Left center field,
Off
that
the
goes
wall.
off the wall. That'll be extra bases for sure for Horky, as that's a double. Excellent job there by Zach Horky.
And that will be his first double of the season. Zach Horky, only 9 at-bats with this one. That will make it 10 at-bats on this 2025 campaign for Bowling Green. Just able to barrel that one up and put it over the head of Paulie Mancino out there in center for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and
a great start here in this inning for the Falcons.
And he puts Sam Seidel in a really good position now with a runner on second and no outs.
Sam Seidel's the guy you want up in this situation, hitting .292. Just a guy that's been able to put the ball in play pretty consistently. 14 hits so far this season. And we'll see what he can do here with runners in scoring position.
First pitch from Bunkle is outside for ball 1. And that's outside as well for ball 2.
And Sam Seidel grounded out to Trey Cassidy his first time up, and then struck out swinging. Went down to Bonkel his last time on a 2-2 count. As head coach Craig Moore is going to come out and have a conversation with Bonkel.
So he's just going to have a conversation with Bonkel. There's nobody in the bullpen right now for Ohio, at least from what I can see. So not ready to make a change just yet.
In Ohio, coming into this game, the 9th worst pitching team in the MAC. They have a 7.49 ERA overall across their whole staff. But pitching a lot better today, as we heard from Bowling Green's head coach, Kyle Halleck, that these 3 games here are either going to be track meets or they are going to be defensive showdowns. And Bonkel.
So far, we have a defensive showdown here.
Yeah, Jim Good and Jacob Turner are certainly doing their part.
That is hit, grounded, and Einich is unable to make the play. And it looks like they're going to wave home Horky, and he is able to score. So Bowling Green on the board finally here in the 5th inning.
That was a very strong single there from Seidel, right in between that first, second base gap. And Seidel will clock home his 10th RBI of the season.
As Gunnar Antillian shows butt, makes contact, but it's foul. But yeah, excellent job from Sam Seidel with the RBI single here. And Hudson Bonko wants to make sure that that's the only run that they can get on the board here in the 5th inning.
This ball game is tied, as Bowling Green's been known to throw out some extra base hits pretty consistently. Only 3 hits so far in this game, with 1 double. Yesterday, Alex Laird had a double. Chase Chopin had 2 doubles. And Bowling Green was able to blow that game wide open yesterday.
Bonko's trying to pick off Seidel at first base. He's done it twice in a row, but to no avail. As that's now 3. He's unable to get it there. Bowling Green's dugout did not like that. A very audible groan from all of them in unison. 4th in a row.
Yeah, this is getting a little out of hand here from Bonkel. If you haven't gotten him within 4 pickoff moves, you might as well come to the plate.
That's fouled off. Gunnar Antillian finally gets a pitch after 4 straight pickoff attempts. And Sam Seidel, the Bowling Green dugout sounds like the crowd in Wii Sports when you throw the bowling ball behind you. Just their collective groan in unison. There's another pickoff attempt.
Yeah, Bonkel really wants this pickoff. He's just not, moving his feet quick enough in order to get there. As there's a great breaking ball. Finds the outside corner. And 1 down in the inning for Ohio, as Bonkel, despite his several pickoff attempts, able to cut down Antillian in pitches.
Yeah, got Gunnar Antillian looking there.
Looked on the first pitch, fouled off the second one, looked on the third one. You got to wonder if that was a intentional tactic there from.
There's another pickoff attempt. This dugout is killing me.
One down in the inning here for Bonkel.
Yeah, he was able to get Antillion in 3 pitches to the plate as opposed to 5 billion pickoff attempts.
Garrett Wright reached on an error in the first inning. That one error was charged to Nick Dolan down there at third base, and then followed that one up with a single his second time up.
High fly ball into center field, and Paulie Mancino is able to make the catch there. So there's the second out for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Paulie Mancino has been busy out there as Brady Birchmeyer comes up to bat for his third at-bat. He flew out to Mancino his second time up and drew a walk his first time around. Birchmeyer, as we mentioned earlier, leading the MAC in hits and RBIs.
There's another pickoff attempt.
You gotta wonder if there's some type of like personal issue between Bonkel and Sam Seidel down there at first.
Thing I could possibly think of now. He's trying to pick him off a lot. He doesn't even have that big of a leadoff. That's another one.
And there's a issue with Trey Cassidy's glove down there at first base, as he has had to catch several pickoff moves in this inning and in these last 2 at-bats alone.
He's got to get a new glove.
So
they've tried to.
Something wrong there with Trey Cassidy's glove. He trotted back, got a new one, and he's back out there at first to presumably catch more pickoff moves from.
If that's not a sign for Hudson Bonkel to quit throwing it to first base, I don't know what is. That is a fly ball into right field, and it will be caught by Ben Slanker. So Ohio able to get out of this inning here after a lot of pickoff attempts. I honestly lost count. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th right after this. Back for the bottom of the 5th inning here from Bob Wren Stadium, as we're halfway through this one in Athens, Ohio, as J.R. Nelson comes up to the plate. This is his 3rd plate appearance so far. He's 2 for 2 on the day.
And J.R. Nelson has fallen victim to 2 fielder's choices, both put in play by Trey Cassidy, the batter right after him. But despite that, he is 2 for 2 with 2 singles here so far in this game.
Again, Jacob Turner on the mound for Bowling Green misses the strike zone there, so it's 1-0. And that one is inside for ball 2.
It was a good job, J.R. Nelson, not getting too rattled by the movement behind the plate. Garrett Wright setting up outside, coming back inside. J.R. Nelson saw it the whole way. There's another good piece of vision right there from J.R. Nelson. He works the count ahead 3-0.
Yeah, quickly to a 3-0 count here for J.R. Nelson. Can't imagine he'll swing at this one. And he does check the swing, but it finds a strike zone, so it's 3-1.
And Jacob Turner taking a page out of Nick Good's book and just coming right after him with a fastball, caught the outside corner. Right back to it.
Another one, so we're back to a full count. Seems like we're always at a full count here in Bob Wren Stadium.
Last time up, J.R. Nelson was first pitch swinging. This time a very more cautious approach.
There's a grounder to the first baseman, and Brady Birchmeyer steps on the bag for an easy out there.
Yeah, Birchmeyer's not been too busy down there at first base, as most of the outs have come via the K, flyouts, or caught stealing, as 2 Bobcats have been caught stealing so far in this game. And up the middle, Sider and Antillian have been doing most of the heavy lifting for this Falcons defense.
And they've been doing good work so far.
Birchmeyer able to look alive here and get the out number 1.
Trey Cassidy up to bat. He's reached base twice on fielder's choice.
Of course, Trey Cassidy caught stealing his second time up.
That's a grounder to first, and looks like that is the pitcher that is able to step on the mound there. Jacob Turner able to make the play and get him out.
Yeah, that was some real athleticism shown there by Jacob Turner, as that flip there for Birchmeyer was just a little bit off the bag, so Turner had to come back and get it, and was able to kind of leap back to his right and touch the base for out number 2.
So here's Ben Slanker. He's reached base on balls twice here.
And Slanker's shown some great vision and some great at-bats here. He's been able to fight despite going down in counts, back-to-back at-bats.
He's been looking to keep the inning alive for Ohio.
As you mentioned earlier, Slanker, the home run leader in the MAC and for this Ohio Bobcat squad. So you got to be careful with him if you are Jacob Turner. Don't want to give him anything he could maybe pop out of here. And you can see it right there, pitching away on the outside corner.
Yeah.
That's back-to-back pitches.
Like you mentioned,
missed.
yeah, you got to be careful when you're pitching to Ben Slanker, because you give him one bad pitch, he can go yard.
Broke his bat.
It's a broken bat there, but he's able to make the play to Birchmeyer for first base, and that is 3 up, 3 down for Bowling Green to end the 5th inning here. We'll be back in just a moment for the start of the 6th. All right, back for the top of the 6th inning here in Bob Wren Stadium. Caden Parker up to the plate now, the Bobcats, and he will foul out to left.
Caden Parker was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Second at-bat, he was first pitch swinging, grounded out to Dolan over there at third base for the Bobcats. 0 for 1 on his day.
Low pitch by Hudson Bonkel. We know there's activity in the Ohio dugout right now. That one's fouled off to right. It's not the dugout, the bullpen for Ohio. They are warming up a few other pitchers, but so far, Bonkel is staying in the game, and he's been able to do 5 and some change, which is great for the Bobcats as he is able to strike out Caden Parker there.
Excellent pitch there from Bonkel. A little bit outside. A little bit on the outside corner there, as it was just announced that our Chick-fil-A strikeout of the game was just achieved, meaning that 10 fans here at Bob Wren Stadium will receive $10 gift cards to a local Chick-fil-A branch. As Bonkel comes back with another strike here on Gavin Gowan.
Yeah, getting on up to the plate now as it's 0-1 quickly.
Gowan
Yeah, he fouls it off.
grounded out to Nick Dolan out there at third base in his first time up. Second time was sat down swinging by Bonkel, one of his 6 strikeouts, so far in this game. Only 3 hits allowed so far for Bonkel as he finds himself up 0-2 once again.
Good work so far from Bonkel. He's been able to stay in for the entirety of the game so far. Can't imagine that's going to be the case for the entire game. He's going to have to be relieved at some point, but that's what Ohio wants. They want their starting pitcher to stay quite a while as he gets Ganun swinging again.
Back-to-back Ks here for Bonkel as he's starting to feel it a little bit. Shying away from the breaking ball just a little bit and kind of focusing on the heat here as Cooper McKenzie comes up for his third at-bat. He flew out earlier in the game to Slanker out there in right field. It was an excellent play. He was ranging to his left, ran about 30 yards and made the play. As this one's
There's
popped
a
up.
hit pop up to the shortstop, and J.R. Nelson is able to make the grab for a very quick top of the 6th inning for Bowling Green. We will come back right after this.
One to one is your score here from Bob Wren Stadium as the Bobcats look to put some more up on the board here in the bottom of the 6th. And it will be led off with Trent Neuer. And Neuer back-to-back strikeouts here in this game this afternoon as he looks at strike 1. One point we wanted to touch on here was the important contributions from Matt Einich, the leading hitter in terms of average in the MAC, as Neuer squares around a bunt. Garrett Wright comes out from behind the
Got
plate
him.
and makes
Wow.
a great play down there to Birchmeyer at first in order to get Trent Neuer.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to wait to see if it was going to be fair or foul, but Garrett Wright said, forget that. I'm throwing this thing to first, and it paid off. Excellent play there by Wright.
And we wanted to talk about Einich and Slanker and their contributions to this Bobcat team and how they've kind of been slacking off, or not slacking off, but a little bit unapparent here in this game so far, as Einich is 1 for 2 with a fielder's choice. And he was actually picked off after that single in the first inning. And Slanker, two walks that resulted in no runs and a ground out to short in his last time up.
Yeah, they've been doing a pretty good job here today, as it is Nick Dolan up to the plate. This is 1-2. Jacob Turner still on the mound.
Yeah, Dolan struck out his first time up to Nick Good, and he will do so once more here to Jacob Turner.
So a very quick 2 outs. This might be one of the quicker innings that you'll see in baseball.
Nick Dolan joining 2 other Bobcats who have over 3 days going so far. Trent Neuer, 2 strikeouts. Nick Dolan, 2 strikeouts, and Jackson Calthron and the 7-hole.
But now Jackson Calthron comes up to the plate. He's 2 for 2 so far today. He's gotten home for Ohio once, so he is their only run of the day.
Yeah, Calthron back in his first at-bat. Singled into left field, ended up coming around to score as he pokes one into center here.
And that is caught. Excellent play by Parker, and that is another quick inning. The 6th inning is already over. Don't blink or you might miss it. The Ohio Bobcats and the Bowling Green Falcons are locked in a defensive battle here in Bob Wrenn Stadium. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Bob Wrenn Stadium in Athens, Ohio. After a very quick 6th inning, we are here in the 7th. Hudson Bonkel still on the mound, so it is the 2nd straight day that the starting pitcher for Ohio has made it 7 innings.
And Blake Gasky gave them a great 7 innings yesterday, tallying 6 Ks, only 2 earned runs. And Hudson Bonkel following that performance up with one of his own. 7 Ks so far for Bonkel in this game.
We've got a bit of a change. We got a bit of a change to the lineup for Bowling Green. This is Garrett Sloan in for Alex Laird. Garrett Sloan, a sophomore from Arizona. He is one of the 4 players on this Bowling Green roster that are not from Ohio or Michigan. They have opted to stay local, and it has really worked out for them. Sloan will hit it for a base hit into midfield right away. So change to the lineup card works out for Bowling Green as he is on base immediately.
That's an excellent piece of pinch hitting right there. Sloan, watching the game from the dugout through 6 innings, was able to kind of time up Bonkel. Saw plenty of pitches from him and makes no mistake about that one. First pitch of the at-bat, first pitch swinging, pokes one into center field. 1 on, no out for the Falcons.
And now it's Zach Horkey, who has Bowling Green's only run of the day so far.
Horkey, his first time up, doubled on a 1-1 count out there over the head of Paulie Mancino in center field.
There's now a 1-1 count for Hudson Bonkel, who is, again, still in the game, giving the Bobcats some really good work so far.
And this is what the Bobcats really needed in this 3-game series. As yesterday, 3 pitchers were used. It was Blake Gasky to start the game. Dylan Egg came in relief, and Dylan Masters also threw yesterday for Ohio. But Bonkel holding down the fort here for the Bobcat bullpen.
This one is fouled off into the net, so it is now 2-2 for Zach Horkey. Hudson Bonkel has been really wary of the runner on first. Remember back in the 5th inning, he tried to pick off Sam Seidel what felt like a million times, and he does it again here.
And he's not necessarily missing by that much. It's just that they're really bang-bang plays. Most of them have been, especially back in that 5th, like you said, there were several that could have been, could have gone either way.
That one's fouled back. So Horkey keeps the plate appearance alive.
Horkey's been consistently squaring these up, just not quite putting as much metal on the ball as he needs to.
There's another pickoff attempt. The Bowling Green dugout has a very strong reaction every time Hudson Bonkel tries to pick off the runner on first, whether it be Sam Seidel or Garrett Sloan. He doesn't even have that big of a leadoff from first as he works the count full. So we've seen some runners have some pretty big leadoffs at first base, but Garrett Sloan is opting to stay a little bit closer to the bag, but he is able to get back quickly if that is the case. He goes again. And a very cautious, safe signal given by first base umpire.
Horkey poked a double into center his first time up. Wind's blowing straight out towards center, the payoff pitch. And that one will miss high for another walk.
So he walks Horkey, and Sloan advances to second base. It looked like he was going to steal regardless, but 2 runners on for Bowling Green as Sam Seidel comes up to the plate after Horkey reaches base on balls.
And Jackson Calthron's going to come out and have a talk with his pitcher. Bonkel, it was a pretty good at-bat there for Bonkel. Came right after him with 2 quick strikes, but credit to Horkey. Fouled off a couple balls, was able to get a little bit into Bonkel's head. Bonkel maybe not as focused on the runner at home as he should have been, throwing over to first for another couple times, even though Bowling Green has not attempted a steal yet this series.
I'll say this. There is somebody throwing in the bullpen right now for Ohio, but it doesn't look like they're throwing it 100% quite yet. As now he's going to try to pick off Garrett Sloan on second. He is really paranoid of the runners behind him.
Sam Seidel coming up for his 4th at-bat of the game. He grounded out to first, struck out swinging, and then had a single in his 3rd time up. Squares around to bunt. In comes Dolan. Dolan over to first, and they're going to get the out in time.
Got him at first base, but the 2 runners advance, so there's a runner on third and a runner on second now, so
that was a good job there by Dolan, just taking the out, not trying to do anything too fancy. And the infield will come in with runners on 3rd and 2nd here for Bowling Green, looking to blow this game wide open.
Gunnar Antillian with 2 in scoring position. This would be a really good time for Antillian's first home run of the season. Has yet to record one so far. 2 RBI on the year for Antillean, so got an opportunity to add to that here with 2 in scoring position. And he hits a ground ball. It's going to go home, and here we go. They're going to chase him down. They will tag him.
That is excellent group baseball by the Bobcats. Trey Cassidy knocking that one down at first. Very athletic play, ranging to his left, fired it home to Calthron. Calthron and shortstop J.R. Nelson, working together well to apply that tag. And Nick Dolan working in that relay as well.
So you can add another out to the tally for Bowling Green.
They're going to intentionally walk. They're going to intentionally walk Gunner Wright here, Garrett Wright.
Bold decision, but they do not want Garrett Wright hitting this thing, especially with Hudson Bonkel's pitch count getting pretty high. So now it's Brady Birchmeyer, who I would argue, I'm not sure you would want him at the plate either. He is dangerous. He is an RBI machine, and especially now with the bases loaded. As there's a conversation at the mound. Ohio trying to get still some life into Hudson Bonkel. Again, they're not quite ready to pull him just yet. I'm going to give him a little bit more work. But they do have a pitcher in the bullpen ready to come in, who is now throwing at 100% speed. As that's a ball.
2 down, bases loaded here for Bonkel. And Brady Birchmeyer watched that first pitch go a little bit low. Off speed there from Bonkel.
The last thing you want for Hudson Bonkel is for Birchmeyer to get anyone in.
That one stays low. It was a good job there from Calthron being able to knock that one down. Both Calthron and Garrett Wright putting together great performances behind the plate. 0 wild pitches, 0 pass balls so far through 6 innings.
Bowling Green dugout is getting loud as there's a foul tip from Brady Birchmeyer. That'll be the first strike of the at-bat, so 2-1 count for Hudson Bonkel.
The Bobcat faithful getting behind Bonkel as he takes the rubber once more. Bases loaded for Birchmeyer. Birchmeyer has flown out twice and walked his first time up.
And there's a strike right down the middle for Hudson Bonkel. 2-2. Can Bonkel get out of the 7th without giving up a run? Just outside, we'll work the count full.
It's a good pitch there from Bonkel, trying to get him to chase. Just ran on him a little bit. It was a slider, looking for that low outside corner. And here comes a payoff pitch from Bonkel.
And a 4-pitch walk. Excuse me. Not a 4-pitch walk. Walks him on 4 balls. And so we've got a run in for Bowling Green. And now up to the plate is Caden Parker.
That'll
no
move.
home runs on the year for him. And now looks like we're going to go to the mound again.
And that will do it for Bonkel. We can close the book on him as he gives up the second run of the game here for the Bobcats. There's 2 down with bases loaded. And when we come back, we will have a new pitcher for the Bobcats here in Athens.
Alrighty, we're back from Bob Wrenn Stadium. We've got a new pitcher for the Ohio Bobcats. Tyler Peck is on the mound as Hudson Bonkel's day is over after 6 innings and some change. Charlie, what did we see from Hudson Bonkel today that was so impressive?
Saw 7 great innings, 4 hits allowed, 2 runs on 4 hits, and Bonkel gave the Bobcats exactly what they needed, which was 7 innings of very nice work. And in comes Tyler Peck to take the reins. Bonkel saving the Bobcats bullpen a couple extra people as this one's grounded straight up the middle and a play will not be made.
Man.
As working to his left, it was Matt Einich, unable to flip that ball over to J.R. Nelson there at short. And all the Falcons are safe with a run scoring 3-1 Bowling Green.
That one works past Tyler Peck there. Peck, the senior from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, has made 6 appearances. This is his 7th. He's got an ERA of 2, but not exactly the start that you want there. They pulled Bonkel. He was getting a little off. They wanted to bring in a fresh arm for when the bases were loaded, but the bases are still loaded, and that is a fly ball. Can Mancino make a play on it at midfield? He can. And it'll get the Bobcats out of the 7th inning without doing any more damage. It is 3-1 Bowling Green. When we come back, we'll see if Ohio is able to get back up on the scoreboard. We have reached the 7th inning stretch here in Athens, Ohio. Bowling Green adding 2 runs to their total in the 7th inning, bringing it to 3-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. What happened there for the Ohio Bobcats, Charlie?
Well, Bonkel was able to work through that first out, and then a walk given up to Zach Horkey. Excellent bunt there from Sam Seidel, and a fielder's choice from Gunnar Antillion that was hit up the middle. He ended up coming around to score 2 runs in that inning for Bowling Green. And the Bobcats find themselves in a 2-run hole here in the bottom of the 7th. Tyler Peck, the new pitcher here for Ohio, taking over for Hudson Bonkel. He does not have a decision yet on the season. He is 0-0 with 9 innings pitched, but he does have 1 save. And Hudson Bonkel will close this game with 3 earned runs. He was responsible for that last run that came across the plate there in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, pretty good day from Hudson Bonkel, but it is done nonetheless. And we'll see if Ohio is able to generate some offense. There's a pop out to midfield, and that is Horkey able to make the play. So a quick out for Caleb Carl, and that'll bring up Pauly Mancino.
That was a good job there from Horkel coming in on the ball. He broke immediately coming forward as that ball just kind of hung up in the air. As you can see, the wind here kind of blowing out to right field. Had that ball hang up there above Horkel's head. Horkey's head.
Starting to get a little cold here in Athens. About 30 to 40 degree day here in the beginning of March, as that's a strike from Jacob Turner, who has done a pretty good job in relief of Nick Good.
Pauly Mancino stepping in for his 3rd at-bat.
He quickly works the count to 0-2. Jacob Turner does.
Back-to-back singles for Paulie Mancino. His first single fell victim to a fielder's choice hit by Matt Irish in the one hole. His second hit did not result to anything.
That is a fly ball into right field, and that'll come down for an extra base hit. Mancino's going to go to second, and a double there from Paulie Mancino as he's able to get something going for the Bobcats.
Mancino just able to catch that one off the end of the bat and poke it out down the right field line. Found some grass out there by that 340 sign. Mancino turned on the afterburners and slid into second with a stand-up double. Mancino has been a very key piece here at the bottom of this lineup for Ohio. It puts him on a 3-for-3 day with a double.
And now we turn the lineup over to Matt Einich. 1 for 3 in the day, has reached base twice, once on a fielder's choice. He was picked off at first in his first appearance, and then reached first base in fielder's choice in his second, and then grounded out to the shortstop in his third. This is his 4th time at the plate, and he's going to launch this one into right field. You can forget about it. That is a 2-run blast from Matt Einich, his first of the season. And Ohio right back in this one. It is tied at 3.
That's exactly what the Bobcats needed. Paulie Mancino coming up pretty clutch there with a double. Took the one out to right field, and Matt Einich playing the wind here a little bit. That ball hung up and just continued to carry right over that 380 sign out there in right center field. And Horky could do nothing but look up and watch it fly as the Bobcats tie the game here in the top of the 8th. Or excuse me, in the bottom of the 7th. It's 3-3.
Matt Einich gets one big boom from the Ohio Bobcats dugout, as now it's J.R. Nelson up to the plate, looking to add to this comeback that Ohio's made here in the bottom of the 7th. As there's a grounder. Can Laird make a play? He can. Birchmeyer gets him out at first. And that'll bring on Trey Cassidy.
That's a big out there for Jacob Turner. Is a couple decent pitches there. One to Paulie Mancino. He just put enough on it to poke it out into right field, and then Matt Irish takes a fastball and powers it over the wall out in right center field. But able to get J.R. Nelson there on a little dribbler down to third base. So let's see if he can settle in here for the rest of this inning.
Let's see what he's able to do for Cassidy. That one is outside of the strike zone for ball 1. Trey Cassidy has made 3 appearances, and he is 0 for 3 so far. He has reached base twice on fielder's choice. And then in his 3rd appearance, grounded out to first. As works the count to 2-1. If you're Jacob Turner, you want to settle down a little bit here. I know you just gave up that home run to Matt Einich, but you're still in this game as he throws that one behind Cassidy. 3-1. But yeah, if you're Jacob Turner, you want to slow the game down. You're still in this game. It's not like that was a big deal. It did tie the game up, but there's still plenty of time, and you've got at least 2 innings to get back ahead on the scorecard. But he walks Cassidy there.
That's the first walk surrendered by Jacob Turner, as Cassidy finding first base safely for the first time in this game. And
here comes Ben Slanker.
It's got to feel good down there for Cassidy.
This is a guy that you do not want to throw the wrong pitch to. And it looks like we're going to have a mound visit here from Bowling Green. Ben Slanker has 5 home runs in the year. If you throw one bad pitch to him, he's going to go yard, and that is not what Bowling Green wants to do here.
Yeah, he's definitely got the power to make you pay. And with the way that Jacob Turner's been throwing the ball recently, lots of fastballs, and he's been working kind of inside to lefties like Slanker. And Slanker, with the wind blowing out to right field, has the opportunity to do the same thing that Matt Einich did. and just push one over that fence there.
Yeah, especially considering Turner was a little rattled after that home run to Einich.
And
And
not
after
only
that mound
giving up,
visit, you have to imagine that's something that coach mentioned during that mound visit. He said you cannot give up a home run to Ben Slanker.
not only that, but giving up a double there to Paulie Mancino on a good pitch that Paulie just had a good piece of hitting on. As that one's just going to miss off the outside corner, 1-0. And gave up a pretty nice fastball there to Matt Einich, who made no mistake about it. And here we are, 1 on, 2 out for Ben Slanker.
Another ball, so it's 2-0. Bobcats dugout is fired up. They know that Ben Slanker is a ticking time bomb here. And that's ball 3.
It's a good heads-up play there by Garrett Wright, faking down to first. As we saw Trey Cassidy take a couple hard steps towards second. Really aggressive secondary leads here for Ohio.
There's strike 1.
Not only Cassidy, but several Bobcats that have been on first base after Turner starts his windup, takes several hard steps towards second base. Garrett Wright just being cognizant of that.
And here's blast. Doesn't look like it's going to go out. That is a catch from Parker. And that will bring an end to the 7th inning. The Ohio Bobcats even in at 3 with a 2-run blast from Matt Einich. We'll be back right after this. Getting late here in Athens, Ohio, and we've added a jacket here in the booth. It's getting colder here at the top of the 8th as this game is tied 3-3 as Cooper McKenzie comes up to the plate for Bowling Green. Ooh. And a strike swinging.
That was an excellent breaking ball there by Tyler Peck. Was just able to get him way out in front. Looked like a curveball kind of dropping down into that low outside corner. Fouls it up with a fastball.
He fouls that one off. Tyler Peck, this is his first full inning. Came in halfway through the 7th in relief of Hudson Bunkle. So get the opportunity to get a full inning of work here. 0-2. And he gets some swinging errors. So a 3-pitch strikeout for Tyler Peck.
Yeah, beautiful pitch there from Peck. Just another looping breaking ball, looking like a curveball coming down into the zone. Started out really high, and Peck able to retire McKenzie for his first strikeout of the game. That makes 8 now as a staff for Ohio.
Here's Garrett Sloan. He's come in to pinch hit for Alex Laird. Not entirely sure if his day is done, but at least he's not out there for now.
And that caught his inside shoulder. Laird will trot on down to first with a hit by pitch. That's the second one of the game here for Ohio. With Caden Parker got plunked back there in the first inning. And Garrett Sloan fouls him up.
All right, so here's Zach Horkey with the man on first after the hit by pitch from Tyler Peck. Again, we have seen Ohio pitchers be very, yeah, there it is. We have seen Ohio pitchers be very wary of who's on first and where they are. And there's a strike in his first throw to the plate.
Horkey doubled his first time up, came around to score. That was the second run of the game for Bowling Green. And his second time up worked a walk and was thrown out at home on a great play from Trey Cassidy.
That one's a little low, so it's 1-1 here. With Horkey at the plate and Tyler Peck on the mound. He is still watching Garrett Sloan. That one's outside for ball 2. We'll see how often he throws to first to try to pick off Sloan. He's getting a pretty good lead.
Runner goes.
And
throw down
they
is
won't get him.
wide to the left there as Calthron felt a little hurried. And Garrett Sloan got an excellent jump on that.
So that'll be a stolen base for number 24, Garrett Sloan.
And that fourth pitch to Horkey, low and away. Probably why Calthron couldn't get the ball down there fast enough, as this one's popped up, back and out of play.
Up. Look out. As Jackson Coughlin was looking for it, but came down out of play. So we have worked a full count here with Horkey up to bat. Again, Garrett Sloan successfully stealing second base. Full count. And this is a pop-up. And Jackson Coughlin will come down with this one.
That was a great piece of pitching there from Tyler Peck. In on the hands there of Zach Horkey. He calls him to pop up. Calthron, with his head on a swivel, makes the catch and peeps down the third to keep that Bowling Green runner where he is. Garrett Sloan stays down at second. We got 2 down here in this inning for Ohio.
So here's Sam Seidel. He would love to drive Garrett Sloan in for a run. As Sloan is really, he was about halfway to third base there. He is getting a really big lead off from second. Peck is looking at him.
Calthron here has a great lane to throw down to third base if need be. With a lefty hitter here, that right-handed batter's box is wide open. He can slide to his left and fire it down to Nolan if need be.
Yeah, Sloan's got to be careful in that scenario. This one is hit deep into right field, and it is gone. A 2-run blast for Bowling Green as they answer the home run from Einich with a home run from Seidel. And they are back up on the scoreboard, 5-3.
Tell you what, that looked exactly like the home run from Matt Einich in the last half inning. As Bowling Green celebrates outside their dugout, Sam Seidel puts Bowling Green back up top 5-3. That ball just poked out to right field. Looked like it had a chance to drop, but the wind's still blowing out towards the Convocation Center in right field. And that ball just lifted itself up over the wall, and Bowling Green finds themselves flying back in front with a 5-3 lead.
Now Gunnar Antillion up to the plate. Tyler Peck probably a little rattled after giving up that home run, as that is going to be a base hit for Antillion. Nick Dolan unable to make the play.
Yeah, Nick Dolan That one was a real scorcher coming down third base, making him move to his right, and unable to make the play was the graduate student, Nick Dolan.
And so here's Garrett Wright. He was intentionally walked in his last plate appearance. Doesn't look like they're going to do that again with a runner only on first. But
and Gunnar Antillion finding his first hit of this game, as he had 2 ground outs, a strikeout, a fielder's choice, who ended up coming around to score. And his first base hit came here in the bottom of the 8th.
First one to the mound is a grounder. Will it reach first? He is safe. Excellent running there from Garrett Wright. I thought they were going to absolutely beat him to the plate, but they did not. A little mistake there from Matt Einich. Unable to get it to Cassidy in time, and we now have a runner on second and on first with Brady Birchmeyer coming up to the plate. Described by Coach Halleck as an RBI machine. As Dylan Masters is going to talk to the umpire. We're not going to be seeing him today. We'll see him tomorrow.
Down their third base line, it looks like
that's Matt Einich. Looks like he's getting a new glove.
Matt Einich looked down. He had the physical therapist for Ohio come out and take a look at his ankle there. And here's Birchmeyer for the Falcons. Runners on first and second.
And here for the Bowling Green dugout. Come on, Birch. He swings at that one.
Birchmeyer 0 for 2 with 2 pop outs and 2 walks.
It's another player, though. If you can give him the wrong pitch, he can hit this thing far. And he does. This one's launched. No chance. It's on West Green. Another home run for Bowling Green. They have blown this one wide open.
A 3-run bomb there from Birchmeyer. That ball was smoked out to the scoreboard. Out there in left center field, all Paulie Mancino in center field could do was turn around and stare, and Bowling Green has blown this game wide open. We see them do this before. It was before that game yesterday against Ohio. They had a 14-4 win over Dayton, only took 7 innings, and it's 8-3. Bowling Green looking to take their second MAC win of the year here, putting up 5 runs in the top of the 8th.
Caden Parker is now up to the plate. Tyler Peck has given up 2 home runs here in this 8th inning. Coach Moore needs him to settle down. Look at 2 hands. See, there's still opportunities. We saw how Ohio was able to respond in the 7th with a home run of their own.
Big swing and a miss there.
And that is a 3-pitch strikeout to get Tyler Peck out of the inning. But it is 5 runs on the board for Bowling Green with 2 home runs from Sam Seidel and Brady Birchmeyer. We will see Ohio up to the plate when we come back.
We welcome you back to Bob Wren Field here in Athens, Ohio, as Bowling Green and the Ohio Bobcats square off here in the second game of a three-game series. Bowling Green blew this one wide open here in the top of the eighth with a 2-run home run from Sam Seidel and a 3-run home run from Brady Birchmeyer, which put the Falcons up 8-3 here on the Bobcats, who will come to the plate with a 5-run deficit. It'll be Trent Neuer, Nick Dolan, and Jackson Cawthron for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the eighth. Ohio struggling a little bit offensively. They've left on base several runners, which was a key point coming into this game, which they needed to execute in order to overcome some of those offensive woes, as Trent Neuer, the left fielder, will step in. He struck out twice and grounded out one of the Bobcats, sporting an 0-for-3 day as there's strike one in for the new pitcher for Bowling Green, Owen Poole. Owen Poole is 0-for-2 on the season so far. He's pitched 5 2/3 innings with 2 saves to his record in 2025.
Yeah.
That ball is going to miss outside at 1-1 count.
Yeah, Jacob Turner's day is done. He is understandably, Coach wanted to take him out. A little rattled after that home run given up to Matt Einich. Wanted to get a fresh arm on the mound there, as that Bowling Green's dugout did not like that one.
Trent Neuer dove out of the way there for that ball and ended up breaking back down and finding the zone. Oh, I'm not happy about that one, as he tries to duck another one and is successful. 2-2.
We did see in the 7th inning that Ohio was able to respond to Bowling Green adding 2 runs to the board. This will be a little bit more difficult with 5 as Neuer strikes out swinging there, but we did see it'll be difficult. Bowling Green adding 5 runs to the board in the top of the 8th, but it's not something that Ohio is not used to. They just need to get on a run here as Nick Dolan is up to the plate.
That was an excellent piece of pitching there from Owen Poole, as this one's grounded past the shortstop Antilion, and Nick Dolan is aboard for the first time this game. He struck out twice and flew out to center field. But nonetheless, the Bobcats have a base runner here with 1 down in the 8th.
So that'll bring up Jackson Cawthron. He's got one of the runs for Ohio. He had their first run of the 2nd inning. They need him to come up big here. Got Nick Dolan on first. Here's the pitch from Poole. It's low for a ball.
Owen Poole with a little bit of a sidearm delivery, kind of a 10 o'clock arm angle as he comes home. Going to continue the trend here for Bowling Green of inside the lefties, outside the righties.
That is fouled off for strike 1.
Cawthron put together a couple good at-bats here so far this afternoon. Had a single and came around to score to start the scoring for Ohio. Followed that one up with another single and then flew out to center field.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And it's outside for ball 2.
Yeah, looking for that backdoor slider, trying to have it run down into that lower outside corner, but Poole left it wide and allows Cawthron to jump up 2-1.
Outside again for ball 3.
Same pitch there. Really trying to work that outside half. But Cawthron is all the wiser.
See what Cawthron does here. 3-1 count. He's going to swing at this one, and he's going to launch it over Seidel. That may be an extra base hit. It will not. He's going to drive him a single, but it will advance Nick Dolan to 3rd.
It's a great piece of hitting there from Jackson Cawthron. Got all of that one, barreled it up, and sent it in between the center and right fielders for Bowling Green. And that one just died a little bit there, about halfway through right field. And they are going to group up, the Bobcats are out front of their dugout.
Conversation. They have a 5-run hole to climb out of. Caleb Carl has 1 home run on the season. This would be a really good time for his second. But they are entering a pretty good stretch here in the lineup card. They've got Carl, and then after that is Paulie Mancino.
Paulie Mancino, yeah.
And then Nelson and Cassidy. They've got some really good hitters coming up in the lineup cards. They would love to get on a little bit of a run here.
And we got Craig Moore talking to the home plate umpire here. Perhaps some changes. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Caleb Carl. And it looks like it's going to be number 12, Dylan Shepard. Shepard has 15 at-bats here on the season, only 1 hit. He's hitting .067 on this 2025 season, but he will take the place of Caleb Carl here in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, 15 at-bats and 1 hit. If my math serves me right, that 1 hit was a home run. So
let's see if history can repeat itself. As we got Nick Dolan on third.
That one's outside for ball 1.
And Jackson Calthron manning first base for the Bobcats.
So we'll see if the decision to bring in a pinch hitter for Caleb Carl pays off. As that one is strike.
Caleb Carl drew a walk his first time up, made all the way to third, and was thrown out trying to steal home, then struck out looking and flew out to right field his third time up. As there's another strike in there to Dylan Shepard.
I'm not coming through.
And Dylan Shepard finds himself down 1-2, and there's that slider missing outside once again. As that kind of sidearm angle there, from Poole, causing these balls not to run as much as he wants to. 2-2. Again missing outside. Poole with a little head nod, a little frustrated with himself. As the count is ran full here for Dylan Shepard. With 1 down in the inning. Runners on the corners for the Bobcats. 8-3 lead here for Bowling Green, and this one's going to be pumped into right field, and it will get down off the wall. Shepard's going to run to second. Dolan will score, and they will hold Calthron at third. It is a 1 RBI double for Dylan Shepard on his pinch hitting appearance. And the Bobcats are back in business here in the bottom of the 8th. 8-4 is your score. Excellent piece of hitting there from Shepard. Got his pitch and pulled it down the right field line. And it was over the head of Zach Horkey out there, who has been a great defensive presence for Bowling Green. That ball got down, and the Bobcats are in business here in the 8th. First pitch there to Matt Heinich, is a ball. That one missed low. Heinich with a 2-run home run his last time up.
Yeah,
Oop, sorry, that was Heinich.
Bobcats been able to get 1 on the board here. Yeah, nothing.
This is Paulie Mancino, that is up for the Bobcats. As Dylan Shepard came in for Caleb Carl, who bats in the 8 spot. Paulie Mancino in the 9 hole, who is 3 for 3 so far on his day. Finds himself up 2-0 here with 1 down in the inning. And this one is going to be poked. It's going to get past Poole and cannot be fielded by Antillion. Another run will score for Ohio. Jackson Calthron comes home, and Dylan Shepard will move his way over to third as the Bobcats pick up another run here. It's 8-5.
They might count that as an error. It's a tough play there.
And Bowling Green's pitching coach is going to come out of the dugout. We'll see if Poole's day is done as they opted to take out Jacob Turner a couple innings back, who put together a pretty good relief appearance for Nick Good, who was a starting pitcher for Bowling Green, and it does appear that Poole's day is done.
Yeah, we'll have a new pitcher in here.
So
Get an eye who it is.
Ohio's put up 2 here in the bottom of the 8th. A new pitcher for Bowling Green from Bob Wren Stadium when we come back. We are back here from Bob Wren Stadium. The Bobcats have put up 2 here in the bottom of the 8th, and a new pitcher in the game for Bowling Green. It will be Connor Penrod making back-to-back appearances here in Athens. He is 1-0 with 2 saves on his record here and 6 2/3 innings pitched. His first pitch to the leadoff man for Ohio, Matt Einich, is a ball. Runners on the corners here for Ohio as they look to add more to this lead. Add more runs to the board and chip away at this lead for Bowling Green.
Yeah, they wanted to get ahead of any potential slump from Owen Poole, so they decided to bring in Penrod, who closed the game yesterday in a win. They could sense that Ohio was starting to mount a little bit of a rally, and they wanted to get a fresh arm in there to hopefully manage that. But Ohio, so far, 2 runs here in this 8th inning. I mentioned that at the top of the 7th, they were able to respond to Bowling Green's 2 runs on the board with 2 runs of their own. It was going to be a bit of a taller task getting 5, but so far they're doing pretty well. They've got runner on third and a runner on first, and Einich up to bat now. As here's the 2-2 pitch. And that is just outside for ball 3.
It's a good job by Einich to leave that alone, as Penrod has been coming with nothing but heat so far in this first at-bat. Einich leaving that one high. Works the count full. The payoff pitch here from Penrod.
Full count. Outside. That is ball 4, and the bases are loaded for J.R. Nelson.
I'll move Paulie Mancino up to second, and Dylan Shepard will remain there at third. Bases loaded for the second time this inning as J.R. Nelson comes up to bat, and he is 2 for 4 in this game. His last time up, grounded out to the third baseman.
We'll see what J.R. Nelson is able to do with the bases loaded, as it's a first pitch strike for Connor Penrod. See if he can successfully close this one. J.R. Nelson would love nothing more than to launch this thing into the bushes.
can confirm now down in there at third base. That is Garrett Sloan, who came into the game for Alex Laird a couple innings back. He has taken over the responsibilities down there at the hot corner.
Jaron Nelson has worked a 1-2 count. See if Penrod can get him here, and he does. Nelson unable to capitalize on the bases being loaded. And with 2 outs, out comes Trey Cassidy.
7th strikeout of the game for this Bowling Green pitching staff, and that one comes at a huge time. 2 outs with bases loaded is a lot more reasonable than 1 out with bases loaded. Allows the infield to push back a little bit, and everybody can relax a little bit on the Bowling Green side. 2 down here in the inning for Trey Cassidy.
First pitch from Penrod is low, and that'll be a ball. Trey Cassidy, excellent hitter for the Ohio Bobcats. But he has yet to hit a home run this season. This would be a great time for his first one, as that is inside for strike 1.
Yeah, Trey Cassidy 0 for 1 here, or excuse me, 0 for 1 here today with a walk and 2 fielder's choices.
And that is high for ball 2.
And we're noticing that early out of Penrod. Saw it a little bit yesterday, but the command control for his fastball seems to run away a little bit and allows that ball to travel high.
Tell you, if Cassidy can get on base here, which he fouls this one off to left, if Cassidy can get on base here and keep the inning alive, you know who's next up in the batting order for the Bobcats? Ben Slanker. That is a man that we have mentioned several times on this broadcast. 5 home runs on the year. We'll see if Cassidy is able to do that.
And one
Misses
missing
the strike
inside.
zone as we have a full count.
It's the first time that Cassidy's been able to see a strike on the inside half. Most pitchers for Bowling Green have been working away from lefties so far this afternoon.
Falcon dugout's hyped up. Here's the payoff pitch, and it is a walk for Trey Cassidy. That will drive in Dylan Shepard for a run. And on comes Ben Slanker. 5 home runs on the season. This would be an excellent time for number 6. And the bases are still loaded with Mancino on third and Einich on second.
Yeah, Slanker 0 for 2 here today. He's drawn 2 walks. Last time up, he flew out to center field, and he looks at a fastball right there for strike 1.
Everyone in this building knows that Ben Slanker has the ability to hit this thing out of the park if he looks at a good one, but he quickly works himself behind the count 0-2.
Slanker did a very good job his last time up. Found himself down 0-2 and was able to fight back, foul off a couple pitches, and force a full count, ended up resulting in a walk.
See if he can do that here. He does not. A 3-pitch strikeout swinging for Ben Slanker, and Bowling Green is able to get out of the 8th inning, stranding 3 Ohio runners on base. We'll see if they're able to close it out as the 9th inning approaches. We'll be back after this. Top of the ninth from Athens, Ohio, and we've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Bobcats. Tyler Peck's day is done. In steps Trey Barkman, the sophomore from Waynedale High School, Kindred, Ohio. Charlie, Tyler Peck had a bit of a rough eighth inning, surrendered 5 runs to Bowling Green. How does Ohio bounce back from this?
Yeah, I think it's less about how they bounce back and how Trey Berkman can come in and work the zone a little bit. We saw Tyler Peck in that last inning. You know, he kind of struggled a little bit, gave up a couple walks, had a bases loaded situation, and gave up 2 home runs as we see Bowling Green take back their lead 8-6. But Trey Berkman here has been a very reliable piece for Ohio. He's thrown 6 and 2/3 innings. He's 0-1 on the season with 0 saves, but with a chance to bring the Bobcats back a little bit as he takes the mound here in the top of the ninth.
Barkman would love to hold them scoreless here to give Ohio a chance to tie or win the game, but this one's a fly out, and they will not be able to make a play on it, so it'll be a base hit for Gavin Ganun. That'll bring on Cooper McKenzie.
There's a good piece of 2-strike hitting there from Ganun. Was able to just poke that one out and find a gap. That's where the majority of Bowling Green's offense that hasn't come from putting the ball over the fence has come from. Just dinking and dunking a little bit. But they don't ask how, they ask how many.
And we'll see how much Gavin Ganun decides to lead off first here. That's been an issue that the Ohio pitchers have been dealing with all day, something that's been keeping them on their toes.
I would expect a little bit of a drop-off here in pickoff attempts, as I don't foresee Bowling Green being very aggressive on the base pass with a lead here. They got to try to protect it, keep base runners, and maybe try to extend their lead a little bit. And on the other side for the Bobcats, can't get too distracted on what the runners on base are doing. So at some point, you have to focus on what's going on at the plate.
There's a hit out into left field, and that's going to drop for another base hit. Ganun's going to round third, and we've got a runner on first and third, as that is 2 hits so far for Bowling Green.
That was a great heads-up play there by Ganun, as we noticed that the Bobcat outfielders were kind of coming in a little bit lackadaisical to pick up that ball. He rounds second, doesn't break stride, slides into third safely. Runners on the corners here for Bowling Green.
And that'll bring in Garrett Sloan.
Watch for McKenzie here to take second.
Garrett Sloan was the run, as they're going to have a pickoff attempt here at first. Garrett Sloan was the one that started off that big streak of runs for Bowling Green in the last inning. He was able to make it home as there's a bunt. Can Barker make the play? He can. Will advance Cooper McKenzie to second base, but Garrett Sloan bunt unsuccessful. So 1 out there.
That was a good sack bunt there from Garrett Sloan. Just able to move the runner over. That did a job there for the Falcons. Infield in for Ohio. Last time the infield was in, Trey Cassidy was able to get the runner at home. And
here's Zach Horkey up to the plate now, as that is in the dirt for ball 1.
a lot of onus here is going to fall on Caltheron behind the plate, being able to keep balls in front of him, keep the runners where they are.
Especially with 2 in scoring position, Ganun and McKenzie. If you're Ohio, you want to keep the deficit low. 2 is manageable in this scenario, especially with 1 inning left.
A little suicide squeeze action going on here as Horkey squared around to bunt. Gavin Ganun had already broke for home. He was halfway down the line by the time the ball reached the plate.
It was dangerous there.
Well executed, just rolled foul.
That is fouled out to the right. So it is 1-2.
Barkman relying here on his fastball. Had a great breaking ball strike for strike 2. Started out right at his inside shoulder and just dove across the plate. There's another fastball, misses outside. Tied up the count 2-2. Infield still in for Ohio. Trey Cassidy playing on the edge of the turf here at Bob Wrenn Stadium.
Yeah, they're really close. Got him, looking.
Excellent pitch there, as that was a breaking ball. Just crossed the plate on that outside corner. And Trey Barkman picked up his second out of the inning, his first strikeout of his appearance here this afternoon.
But here comes trouble for Ohio. Sam Seidel, who homered in his last appearance at the plate. Bowling Green would love for him to do that again. Of course, Ohio would not.
Sam Seidel came around to score in his fourth appearance. He laid down a bunt and was able to come around to score. Another suicide squeeze threat for Sam Seidel.
Who looks like the pitching coach. He's going to have a little conversation with Trey Barkman on the mound. And with Jackson Coughlin there, as especially knowing that Seidel homered last time he went, and it
looks like this will do it for Trey Barkman. Comes in.
Yeah.
Faces three batters, one strikeout, and 2 base hits. His runners on third and second as a new pitcher will come in for Ohio. And we will pick up action in the top of the ninth from Bob Wrenn Stadium after this.
We've got a new pitcher in the game for the Ohio Bobcats. Trey Barkman's day is done after a very short appearance. And in steps Landon Price, the junior from Middle Point, Ohio. The Ohio State transfer is looking to close out this half of the inning with runners on second and third. Charlie, Landon Price, the last thing he wants to do is get either of these runners in there, especially with 2 outs in this inning. He wants to end this thing clean.
Yeah, smart move here by Craig Moore, opting with the lefty-lefty matchup here for Landon Price and Sam Seidel at the plate for Bowling Green. Seidel, of course, has been a very busy day here, going 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored and a 2-run home run that came in the top of the 7th.
And another strike there from Landon Price. He's unable to field that one.
The ball gets away from Landon Price.
That could have been dangerous for the Bobcats. Gavin Gannon deciding not to go in a clear lane. They're maybe not have made it, but
noted earlier in this game that Seidel has reached base on a bunt. He is a very big bunt threat. We saw a suicide squeeze by Bowling Green earlier in this inning. As that appeal down to second base umpire.
Check swing, so it's 1-2, yep. They're bringing in Landon Price for what they hope is just one batter, but the lefty-lefty matchup, like you mentioned, they're hoping it pays off.
Good work back there from Calthrin. Couple pitches down there in the turf. He's able to keep them in front. And we've noticed Ganun being a little aggressive out there at third. Ganun out there at third, McKenzie at second. 2 down here in the inning.
2-2. That's low. Works the count full.
Nick Dolan playing very shallow out there at third base, almost on the edge of the turf here. Everyone else back at their regular spots.
If you're Landon Price, you want to get out of this inning right now. You do not want to have to pitch to Garrett Wright or Brady Birchmeyer. And he got him swinging. And so Ohio does not surrender a run in the top of the 9th. They have a 2-run deficit to make up in the bottom of the 9th. Can they do it? We'll find out after this. Here we go, bottom of the 9th, here in Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio. The Bobcats have a 2-run deficit to make up. They are down 8-6. Trenton Neuer is going to start off at the plate. Actually, looks like we've got a pinch hitter in.
Yeah, it's going to be Wes Lugg coming in to replace Trent Neuer here in the bottom of the 9th. We noticed yesterday in a very similar spot, down 2 in the bottom of the 9th for the Bobcats. They were a little bit more aggressive than I think I would have thought, swinging a lot of first pitch strikes, not necessarily taking as many pitches as you would think, down 2 with 3 outs left. But Wes Lugg will come up to try to get things going here for the Bobcats.
Again, Ohio able to keep that deficit manageable. As there's strike 1 from Connor Penrod, who's looking to close this one out. They're able to keep the deficit manageable. They did not give up a run in the 9th, so it's still 2 runs.
Penrod, 2 saves on the season, looking for his 3rd if he can close this out. Quickly finds himself up 0-2 here on Wes Lugg.
The Ohio Bobcats looking to win this one with a walk-off in the 9th. They won the last game of the series against Butler on a walk-off. And the second part of the doubleheader there last week, as Wes Lugg fouls that one off.
Yeah, Lugg able to stay alive there, hitting .250 on the season. He's got 6 hits so far. And that
one's high for ball 1.
And we saw that last inning. Penrod a little bit trouble with his vertical control, missing high on several pitches in that bottom of the 8th inning.
That one's fouled off. so keeps the plate appearance alive. It's getting colder in Athens, but the pressure is getting higher as this is a tight ball game here in the bottom of the ninth.
It's a great battle here from Lug. Early down 0-2. Foul off a couple pitches. Watch one go by.
Got him swinging. So there's one out for Bowling Green and Connor Penrod as Nick Dolan comes out.
It's the 8th strikeout of the game for this Bowling Green pitching staff. And it is the second of Penrod's outing.
Nick Dolan in the 8th inning was the first of 3 consecutive runners to score. This one's low for ball 1. Dolan, Cawthron, and Shepard all got home in the 8th. They're hoping to have that again. They would love to get Nick Dolan on base here. That is in the strike zone for strike 1.
And Nick Dolan's had trouble reading the bottom half of the strike zone here so far in this game. He struck out twice and flown out to center field as that one misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And if you're Penrod, you don't want to walk him either. Nick Dolan can be dangerous on the bases. That is fouled off. Top of the Bowling Green dugout, so it's 2-2.
Nick Dolan making his presence known certainly in the field. Several spectacular plays, all of which taking place on that left field line on his backhand and showing off his arm strength, being able to power balls across the diamond.
Let's see, this is going to be a tough play. Can they get it? They can. Excellent play there from Gunnar Antillian to get it to Brady Birchmeyer. Now it's desperation time for the Ohio Bobcats.
Hey,
2 outs in the bottom of the ninth.
Great play there by Birchmeyer, being able to pick that on his backhand. Low throw from Antillion. And the Bobcats down to their last out. Jackson Cawthron is 3 for 4 so far with 3 singles. We'll see if he can keep that going. The Bobcats down to their last out. Want to see how aggressive Cawthron will be. And he's going to watch that first strike come right down Broadway.
This is absolutely have to have it time for the Ohio Bobcats. Jackson Cawthron has to get on base or this one is over and the series will go to Bowling Green. That one is fouled off behind him, so he's down to his last strike. Can he keep it alive for the Ohio Bobcats? They've been in several close games, have not been able to get over the hump.
Dylan Shepard waiting in that on-deck circle. As you mentioned, his only hit so far this season has been a home run.
0-2. Doesn't swing, and it's a good decision for a ball.
Yeah, Penrod leaving that one high. It's where he's consistently missed throughout his 2 innings of work.
1-2. Fouled off as he chips off a part of the safety net. So he keeps the plate appearance alive. Penrod looking to close this one out with another win for Bowling Green. Looking to start MAC playoff with a series win in Athens. Swing and a miss, and this one is over. Bowling Green survives the bid to come back for the Ohio Bobcats, and they will win it 8-6 here in Athens, Ohio.
Yeah, OU just unable to overcome the offensive onslaught from Bowling Green, perpetuated by 2 big hits. It was Sam Seidel with a 2-run home run and Brady Birchmeyer, who had one heck of a game with a 3-run bomb following that one up. And Ohio will drop 2 in a row to Bowling Green and start MAC play off 0-2.
Yeah, excellent games here in the series between Bowling Green and Ohio. The series will go to Bowling Green, but we still have one more game here tomorrow at 1 p.m. You can find that on YouTube. That's going to do it from us here in the broadcast booth for my broadcast partner, Charlie James. and our fantastic production crew led by Jordan Bowes. My name is Noah Devine. So long from Athens, Ohio. Have a good night, everybody.